you here at the conference today?
My name's Carolyn Steele. I used to be an architect, what I call a recovering architect, because it's quite tough being an architect. I wrote a couple of books about food and how food shapes our lives, so actually holding a chicken box is actually quite appropriate. They're called Hungry City and Sitopia, and Sitopia is a concept I invented. It means food place, from the Greek sitos for food and topos for place. And the idea is we live in a world shaped by food, but we don't value food, and so we live in a bad Sitopia. But if we did value food and we put it at the heart of our thinking, we would live in a good Sitopia, which is quite close to utopia, which is why I invented the word, because it's like a food-based alternative to utopia. And that's why I'm here. I came to talk about markets and why markets are important.
What's something about your job would you generally surprise most people my age watching?
Could you repeat that question?
What's something about your job that would genuinely surprise most people my age watching?
Oh, well, I didn't think I could write a book, and it turned out that I could.
Amazing.
It did take 8 years. And then,
you got there in the end, though.
Yeah. And then people started getting in touch and asking me to go and talk in places, and I've been doing that for the last 15 years, and I earn a living by speaking, which I didn't think would be possible. So I think, for somebody starting out, I always had this idea that I should do something in the world, and I thought it was architecture, and it was for a while, by the way. But then, I brought food into the architectural world, and then I guess the thing I did, because of the questions I was asking, I brought those two worlds together, food and architecture. So I sit in the world that doesn't have a name, but I am the world expert in that thing that doesn't have a name.
So did you always dream about being in this position that you are in today?
No.
It just happened all
I wanted to be an architect, and I just, there was nothing like it in my family, so I'll never really understand where that came from. But I did. I went to Cambridge, I studied architecture, started teaching 2 years after I qualified.
Sorry, what did you teach?
Architecture.
Oh, wow.
At Cambridge and at the London School of Economics and various other places. And but I still had this idea that there was yet something else. Yeah, and it was really the food for me. It wasn't necessarily food per se, although I do love food.
Yeah, I think I can't lie. It's like a universal love language.
That's the point.
Yeah,
that's literally the point. That we all have to eat, so it's something we share, and it's something that brings pleasure, and it's necessary, but it brings pleasure. And I found by bringing food into the architectural discourse, you could just talk about cities, talk about how we should live in a completely different way, in a way that was much more engaging and connected.
Yeah. I was going to say, so going back to your youth, so at 18, what have you done that you could recommend to the youth today to do?
Trust yourself.
100%, yeah.
Have a question. Find out what your gifts are.
Okay.
It's weird. I've just it turns out a workshop yesterday, and that was the last question they asked us all: is what are your gifts? And I wouldn't normally put it like that, but it was a really interesting question. Another way of putting it is just what are you good at? What are you passionate about? Yeah. Follow that, because that's always going to be the thing that's going to get you where you want to be and need to be. And so don't do what other people tell you to do. Don't let them tell you can't do it. So plenty of people told me I couldn't do what I've ended up actually doing.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So follow your dream. It's such a cliche, but it's actually true.
No, it's true.
It's actually true.
I feel like sometimes we need that push where we just kind of believe in ourselves to do it.
Believe in yourself, absolutely. Yeah. Love yourself.
100%.
Seriously.
No,
Especially, this is going to sound a bit weird, but if you're a girl, because
you kind of get self-conscious.
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't know what it's like for you guys growing up with all this social media nonsense.
Yeah.
I would have really not coped. I'm just telling you.
I agree with that.
So just ignore all of that. Be yourself, and just ignore all the noise and the kind of the likes and the not likes, and just
100%. No,
we need a new. I think you're getting me going now. I think we need a new culture of being young that is about just being who you are, not having to look a certain way, dress a certain way. Just have integrity, be yourself, and we should respect that.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Pleasure.
Right, our last question, the most important question. What's your favourite chicken shop?
Okay, now this is a tough one because I have to say I adore fried chicken.
Oh, go on.
And I was in actually the Watergate building in Washington in 1977, the night Elvis Presley died. This is quite weird. Many decades before you were born. And I was served the most delicious fried chicken I've ever had in my life. And it was the whole thing, it was the kind of the polenta mash and the kind of I don't know, cabbage chopped up and the chicken. Oh my god, the chicken! Chicken!
Making me hungry now.
I've never forgotten it. You know, it was a food epiphany. One of the great food epiphanies of my life. So I will always eat fried chicken, but it has to be happy chicken.
Happy chicken.
So I will go to places where I know the chickens were treated right, and then I will eat very, very happily delicious fried chicken.
After you ate that other chicken, did you go into a food coma after?
Well, the thing is, I mean, you know, when I was young, we all went to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. And again, it is delicious. Yeah. I think the chicken provenance is a bit borderline. So, you know, I make my own fried chicken, actually, and I have a great recipe.
I think a homemade style.
So actually come over to mine.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay,
we'll do that. I will do that. Yeah. You're invited. I live in London.
Cool. Okay.
I love food, food reviews. So
yeah, we'll travel. We don't mind.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Lovely to meet you. Good luck with your podcast.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.